These are the instructions for the bump game for TH medial or TH in the middle of words. So within this activity, you also have these laminated game instructions that are very similar to the written instructions, but if there's a few discrepancies, don't worry. They're both equally as effective. One might just be more specific. So the idea of the bump game is that you have two players playing at the same time. Each player gets a different color circle, which they put face down in front of them. And actually, the play starts by the adult just reading off the pictures on this card, and the children just listen. So it's a bit of a listening activity before you actually start playing and having them produce the sounds. So in the instructions, it talks about a listening list. You don't have a list, you have just this game board that you read off the words to the children. They don't say anything, they just listen. So the game starts by putting the game board in front of the children. They've got their tokens face down in front of them. The first person goes, turns over their card or their circle, and reads the word on it. And this one is wealthy. So the child may need you to say it first if they're not familiar with the vocabulary, or if they're practicing at imitation level. But ideally we want them to work towards being able to say the pictures on their own. So the child says wealthy, and then they match it to the picture on the bump board. And this can be adjusted to whatever level the child is working at. So the child might just be saying the words. The child might say two words together like my wealthy, and or then moving on to a three-word phrase, you could say I have wealthy. And then you can also expand working on the speech sounds in different sentences actually within the game, because you can use these target sentence cards to expand the sentence and have them say I found wealthy. It doesn't make sense grammatically, but that's okay. Or you could just have them say I found wealthy. And then the next player goes and turns over a circle. This circle is pathway. So again, they either say the word, a phrase, a sentence, whatever level they're working on, they put pathway down. So you keep playing. And so then what happens is that if, say, on this turn instead of pathway, the person had picked up wealthy, then this player would say, oh, I found wealthy, if they're practicing sentences, right? They would put it over top of this one and say, bump, or I bumped your wealthy, and then they take this picture, right? And then the other person could say, hey, you bumped my wealthy. And then there's these sentence frames to help guide that if they forget. It's a just nice, easy visual way to expand the sentences that they're using while using their target sounds. So the idea is to get as many of the opposite player's colors as you can. So play continues until all of the circles are covered or each player has turned over or used up all of their circles. The winner of the game is whoever has the most circles from the opposite player as possible. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please reach out to your SLP.